Hey, what's going on everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. This is going to be kind of a quick one, but I wanted to get it out of the way because recently we got a little bit of news about an upcoming Ryzen 7000 series handheld known as the AYANEO 2S. So yeah, recently some news has been leaking out about the 2S, and it's definitely going to be powered by a Ryzen 7000 series APU, and hopefully we get RDNA3 graphics, because it wouldn't make sense to go with something like a 7740U, because that has the Radeon 680M RDNA2 graphics like we already have with the 6840U, and with a little bit of TDP tweaking, we can match that kind of performance that the 7735 puts out. In fact, we can actually match the performance of the 7735HS with the 6840U at the right TDP levels. So in order to be competitive, it'll definitely need RDNA3 graphics, and I've got a little bit of speculation going on here in my head. I kind of wanted to get that out of the way. We're not sure exactly which APU they're going to be using. There are some unannounced APUs out there, the U series with RDNA3, and when it comes to the Phoenix Point APUs that have been announced so far, the stuff that we have on the table is the Ryzen 9 7940HS, the Ryzen 7 7840HS, and the Ryzen 5 7640HS. All of these contain RDNA3 graphics, but I don't see them throwing an HS chip in a handheld, given that you do need to put a little more wattage to it to get better performance. But there are some Phoenix Point U variants floating around that haven't been officially announced by AMD, like the 7840U. And I think that's about what we'd get inside of the AYANEO 2S. The big elephant in the room used to be the Steam Deck, but now we've got the ROG Ally coming up very soon. And, you know, from what we've seen so far, it's definitely going to be a pretty powerful handheld. We're not exactly sure of the exact release date or exact price yet. And this is really going to be a handheld that's on a lot of people's mind right now. And I'm sure that AYANEO has kind of thought about that with the 2S. And when it comes down to it, the design we've seen so far for the AYANEO 2S definitely looks like the AYANEO 2, and there's really not much you need to change with that. It's one of my favorite handhelds right now. We've got that beautiful 1200p bezel-less display, and if you were to sit it down in front of me and tell me it was an OLED display, I'd believe you, because the IPS that they used in here is one of the best that I've seen so far, and I'm talking about the AYANEO 2, so I don't think they're going to downgrade that on the 2S. I did mention the Ryzen 7 7840U. This has been unannounced by AMD, but we have seen benchmarks on this, and I believe that's what we're going to have here. So what we're talking about now is speculated specs, not 100%. This is what I think we're probably going to be getting. Obviously, that Ryzen 7 7840U, we've got 8 cores, 16 threads. In all of the benchmarks we've seen, mainly through Geekbench 6, base clock 3.3 with a boost up to 5.1. And this does have that new RDNA3 based iGPU, the 780M. And through those benchmarks, we've been seeing 6 CUs here. I believe it's got 12. I just think it's kind of misinformation through Geekbench 6 right now. And I've done some testing on the 780M already. I've actually got another video coming up very soon, so stay tuned to the channel. But yeah, it's a great performer. When it comes to RAM, I think we'll have a couple variants, 16 to 32. But one thing that's going to make or break these new RDNA3 graphics is RAM speed. If we're going with straight up DDR5, 5600 MHz RAM, you can always do a little bit of overclocking, but that's kind of the base that they set there. And for LPDDR5X, 7500 MHz. If they can leverage that 7500 MHz LPDDR5X RAM, it's going to make a world of difference when it comes to these integrated graphics. And as for CPU performance, I wouldn't worry about it, because Geekbench so far with that 7840U is looking absolutely amazing. There's actually a bunch of different scores up on their Geekbench 6 browser, as you can see here. 9,584 on multi, so I mean we're good to go with CPU performance if they use that 7840U. Either way, I'm super excited about this. I mean, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of 7000 series powered handhelds this year. And yeah, the AYANEO 2S definitely looks like it could be an awesome contender if they can get the performance and price right. And that's going to be one of the main things. I mean, we're definitely going to have to check out the prices of all of the new handhelds hitting the market. And as soon as everybody does kind of an announcement, I will make another video just giving you a look at everything. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. Really appreciate you watching. Let me know in the comments below if this is something you're interested in at the right price point and performance mark. And definitely keep an eye on the channel, because in the next day or so, I will be posting my video on the Radeon 780M. I've got a bunch of games that I tested there, and the performance actually blew me away. If you've got any questions, let us know down below. And like always, thanks for watching.